Whoa, man! Didn't see you guys there. So, I've been getting a lot of comments on the videos asking me to explain the Terra Ult. So, I'm making this off video to try to explain that. So, how Terra Ult works is somebody gets debuffed, basically. And this debuff or buff will activate after 4 instances of damage. And this could be from item effects or gods. So this is important, very important to causing all the bullshit. So this can happen from anything, right? So for example here, we have Mage's Blessing, which applies 10 bonus ability damage every single time you use it. Now this is an additional effect when you use it. So every ability that you use will apply a second instance of damage. So if you want to do any of these shenanigans, Mage's Blessing is really important. So always get that. Additionally, there's other items you can get as well. Any item that basically applies an instance of damage is what you have to use. So Soul Reaver, for example, applies about 2%, I think. Where is it? Yeah, 2% of the maximum health as additional damage. So always get a Soul Reaver. This is for mages though, so I'll probably make something else for an additional thing for when you're working for an ally. So then now we have 3 instances of damage here. So we want a 4th instance of damage, and that's why we get Soul Gem. Which, if I can find it, you see after you have 4 stacks, it applies an instance of damage of 30% of your magical power. So after you get all of this and get some damage items, oh well, there we go. Let's get rid of boots just for the sake of getting more power, because now it's a little bit more difficult to do this as Terra without any pen. You need pen for this to apply really well. There we go. So we need to stack Soul Gem. That's important. Otherwise, we're not going to get the application's damage. So I get this, which, if you don't know, it also stacks Terra's Soul Gem. So you put down any pillar, so you're 2, you're 3, and then you start autoing people, and then you would get an effect going. You would buff yourself, debuff, and then clap, dead. Fairly simple. So right now, Leaf is going to explain on how you build for a physical god.
Okay, nerds, Big Daddy Leaf, following up with what Snort said. As he explained, you need 3 instances of damage on top of your abilities. For Hercules and any other physical character, super fucking easy. Mage's Blessing, bonus damage. Heart Seeker, don't even know her.
Don't even know her.
Bonus damage. Your abilities deal an additional 2% as physical damage. That's another proc here. We got a proc from Mage's Blessing, got a proc from the ult. Crusher, don't even know her.
Don't even know her.
Enemies hit by damaging abilities, an additional 20 physical damage plus blah. The important part is it's at least 1 additional bonus damage. We got him. 1, 2, 3, and then 4 with the actual ult hitting. This will proc Terra's ult in literally 1 shot. Alright, then on top of all this, the biggest and most important stat you're going to want, flat penetration. You're hitting the nerds. You're not going to try to hit tanks with this. Items like brawlers, don't even know her. 15 flat physical penetration. Also, if you got a big ability like a boulder, percent penetration. Great item to pick up is Titan's Bane, especially if you've got somebody who doesn't deal massive fuck tons of damage like Hercules Boulder does. Titan's Bane, it's only going to apply on the first one, 40%. That's the cap for flat pen. And then just get any other, other flat penetration item you want. Doesn't matter too much. I usually go with Jotuns. The order doesn't have to be this either. Or it can be whatever you want.
Well, you could also, depending on how big your dick is,
True.
You can replace Titan's Bane with Rangda's. That's just 20% extra damage.
It's true. The 40% flat pen is not bad. But if you really have a massive dongus, go with Rangda's.
Safer, I don't even know her?
At this point, it's not going to make a difference. The flat pen, on a normal on a normal target. What the flat pen's there for is it's going to help you break the bank on people who have auras being applied to them. So if they've got a sovereignty on their team, you probably want to go with Titan's Bane instead of Rangda's, because you want your ult to be doing true damage against them. If you
Yeah.
look and you press tab and you see, oh, there's not any sovereignties or thieves on their other team, then go with Rangda's instead if you want to. This could also, if you have, so like Herc's ult, for example, massive 800 base damage. I believe it's the highest base damage of any physical god in the game. 800.
Yeah, I think so.
He could go whatever the hell he wants here. He could probably go a mantle and still one shot with Terra, as long as Terra's got the build too.
You're honestly probably not far off. But
Yeah.
to be safe, get damage.
Yep. If you really want to be safe, you really want to get it, you don't care about winning the game, go Rangda's.
Shall we squish a small one?
Smash his head with a rock, we must.
Maximum pain they must endure. All right, so if you are trying to get a one shot for any other character that isn't you, basically your friends, your build is going to be slightly different. You're not going to start out with Mage's Blessing because you don't need to apply that extra damage anymore. So I would start off with an Attacker's Blessing because that's going to get you starting to do a lot of damage really quickly. But since right now we're at full builds, we don't really need it. So we just get, as Leaf said, flat pen. That's the key. That's what gets you. That's what gets you to clap cheeks. That's what gets you to clap cheeks. You need to get that flat pen. Rangda's is also kind of mandatory. You do so much damage, just so much damage with Rangda's. Because I mean, Terra Ult does a lot of damage, and Rangda's just amplifies that. Then you got to get a Soul Gem, and then just get boots, and you're done. It's that simple. You don't need to have you don't need to be bootsless. That's crazy. You could just be with this build. This is the build that I generally use every single time, and it generally always claps cheeks. All right, let's show it off. Get him. The vape daddy Leaf is gonna run a train on Neath. Well, if he would have had red
If
buff,
I
he
had
would've
Rangda's. Okay, so it gets squishy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so to show again that you could pretty much one shot with any ability, if you have the right builds. Vape Daddy Leaf is gonna run a train on Neath.
Someone on the other team
Yeah, it shows the importance of Rangdas. You need that Rangdas to clap cheeks. So I want to also make something really clear with Gazebo because it's kind of difficult to tell when it happens or not. So the way his reflect works is that the only damage that it causes is, well, one, the reflect, and two, Soul Gem. It doesn't apply Soul Reaver or Mage's Blessing. So if you want to get Kuzembo one-shots, you need to have a Fafnir to apply the fourth instance of damage. Additionally, this is huge. If you do this order incorrectly, you won't do the damage needed. You need to use Thorns first, then your Reflect. If you do it in the opposite order, Soul Gem will not apply, and you won't get the kill. You need to do it first, Thorns, then Reflect.